Hi, I'm Erin Lundy.
And I'm Madeline Walden, and this is
Aquarium of the Pacific,
a podcast brought to you by Aquarium of the Pacific, Southern California's largest aquarium.
Join us as we learn alongside the experts in animal care, conservation, and more.
Welcome back to Aquarium of the Pacific. My name is Madeline Walden. I'm the Aquarium of the Pacific's digital content and community manager. And today, as always, I'm joined with my wonderful co-host, Erin Lundy.
I'm the manager of conservation initiatives here at the Aquarium of the Pacific, and I work on our bird, mammal, and amphibian team with some of our animals.
And today, I think you have to change your name to Erin Puffin Island. Because
that is my name.
You're right, actually.
Why did you introduce me as anything else? We found out that there is an island in the UK. I hope that is correct, but that is what I read on Wikipedia earlier. And apparently that island is named Lundy Island, which is Lund for puffin and E for island. Therefore, I am named Erin Puffin Island. And I could not be more pleased.
I walked past your desk to come get you for the episode, and you just turn around in your chair and you go, I just learned the most incredible news. Or no, I think you said, I have great news.
Well,
what?
You're also leaving out the part where I immediately minimized my screen and panicked for no reason.
It is jarring to have someone just walk up behind you.
I panicked.
I have great news.
I just found out that my name means Puffin Island.
When I walked up, you were on your computer and you were on the conservation section. I was like, oh, are they like newly coming back from conservation?
I'm only reading it myself.
I just care that they are named Lundy Island.
So those puffins apparently aren't the kind we even have here. So what are we doing?
I know. So what are we doing? But anyways, it was a fun fact.
It was a fun fact, and I am pleased. And I had thought my whole life that my last name was Monday from French, Lundy. But I actually think that it's more likely that it is from this Puffin Island, which is cooler and preferable to me.
I love that.
Because no one likes Mondays, but everyone likes Puffin Island.
Likes Puffin Island. Who doesn't? I want to go there.
I'm a big fan.
It says that it's going to take 16 hours and 40 minutes to
get there. If we walk?
If we fly.
Oh.
So you want to get the plane or?
Well, it's named after me, so I think they should just pay for it.
You should have a plane too.
Anyway, so we are going to learn about puffins today. The ones on Lundy Island are Atlantic puffins, which are the one species we do not have, but we do have tufted puffins and horned puffins here, and their scientific name is Fratercula for the genus, which means little brother, which is also the best fact sweet. I know about puffins.
You're getting so many fun facts this episode.
Yeah, I am having a lot of fun with these facts.
Literally fun facts. Having so much fun.
I am enjoying it. So we're going to learn a little bit about how we take care of our puffins here at the Aquarium of the Pacific, our two Pacific-type puffins. And Amanda's going to tell us about what their care is like, a little bit about their social structure and their natural history. And we're going to learn also, briefly, about some other rowdy birds that live in the exhibit. It's a cool episode. Amanda's done a great job, and she's been working with these birds for years now, so she is very connected to them. And I'm excited to talk about puffins.
And if you visit the aquarium and you walk past our diving bird habitat, you can actually hear Amanda's voice speaking on video above the exhibit. And that exhibit, I don't know if we mentioned in the episode, it's in our Northern Pacific Gallery.
Yes.
They're cold water.
It's around
birds.
The corner from the sea otter exhibit, and it's near where the giant Pacific octopus is. You honestly can't miss it.
You cannot.
But
unless the curtains are closed because it's their bedtime. Because sometimes
true.
We do that if it's a late night.
That is also true.
So you may miss it.
You can, in fact, miss it when the curtains are closed. The puffins are very sensitive to light variation. And so if we are having an early close day or a later close day or it's wintertime, we actually will close the curtains on their exhibit so that they can sleep.
That's right. Go to sleep. We're about to get into the episode, but if you are enjoying Aquarium of the Pacific, we would greatly appreciate your 5-star review on whatever platform that you're listening on. And also, you can email us at podcific@lbaop.org. That is podcific@lbaop.org. Get in contact with us. Tell us what you liked about this episode. Tell us what you like about other episodes. Suggest future episode topics. And we just like hearing from you. So get in contact with us.
We will read your email. It's not like an inbox where we have so many emails. No. We have like 10 emails, and I go to Madeline's office, and I'm like, let's read them.
We will read them, and then we will continue to read them.
Yeah. Even if we had 10,000 emails a day, we would read them.
Exactly. I wish we had 10,000 Podcific emails a day.
We have like
one every
week.
Month.
Please email us. We love email.
We just want to we want to hear from you. So let us know what you're liking. Let us know what you want to hear in future episodes. And you can follow us at Podcific on Instagram. You can also follow the general aquarium accounts at Aquarium Pacific everywhere. And let's get into today's episode. Welcome back. My name is Madeline Walden. I am the Aquarium Digital Content and Community Manager, and today I'm joined with Erin Lundy.
Hello.
So your job.
Well, first and foremost, Lundy is the name of an island on which there are puffins, and that is very thematically appropriate today. And also, I just learned that. But my name is Erin Lundy, and
Erin Puffin Island.
Yes, Erin Puffin Island Lundy, which is redundant because that means the same thing. And I forgot what my title is. And I'm the manager of conservation initiatives here at the Aquarium of the Pacific. Today, we are talking to someone who takes care of puffins, Amanda Torres, who is one of our, strangely enough, mammologists, but also very involved with our puffins and our diving bird exhibit.
Which are
not mammals.
Not mammals. Birds are not mammals. Right?
What's that about?
A lot of people
They
ask
are
about
warm-blooded, just like mammals, so I like to think they're similar.
But they're birds.
Yep.
They don't have mammary glands.
They don't.
Which is
well done. They also
allow
lay
them
eggs.
to be a mammal. Yeah, exactly. You've been in a number of roles here at the aquarium, and you've taken care of a variety of animals. Can we talk about your history at the aquarium a little bit? When did you start?
Oh, yeah. I started back in 2014.
Wow, really?
Yeah, so it's been some time. I started off in our education department, so I learned how to do all the tours, and I did all the shows on the microphone. And
I knew this about you. That's amazing. It makes sense. You're great on camera.
Oh, wow. Thanks.
And on podcast.
When I was an intern and a volunteer in 2015 and 2016, Amanda was a regular Thursday volunteer, right?
I think it was a Tuesday volunteer, but
Tuesday.
yes.
I remember there was also volunteer Heather, and Heather and Amanda came as a package deal, and I learned a lot from them. So it was cool that crossover between departments, and that Amanda, who worked so much in our education department, and then every other day that wasn't, her mammal day, I would see her doing the shows around the aquarium.
She's here.
Then she would teach me how to do everything mammals. So
amazing.
Everything I know, I learned from you.
I was here a lot. I did do an internship just like you with the mammals, and then continued as a volunteer, and eventually got a seasonal position, not specifically with our mammals, but with our lorikeets. So then I kind of became a little more of a bird person then. And then worked with our animal ambassadors, and then kind of switched over to our mammal side as a full-time mammologist.
And was that always your plan, or did you start in the education department thinking you wanted to go that direction, or were you always interested in animal care?
I think I was always interested in animal care. I just didn't know how to get in. It's kind of a niche thing.
Yeah.
And so doing all the volunteering and interning kind of helped get there.
I think you've done sort of the broadest variety of bird and mammal.
Right? I've worked with our lorikeets, our parrots, our penguins, our
reptiles.
alcids, our reptiles, just everything but the frogs, shockingly.
Wow. I'm actually pretty offended. The only thing.
She still has time. Okay, she can get there.
That's true.
Yeah, exactly.
As the mammologist, someday you will work with frogs. I'm pretty sure that's how that works.
It's all encompassing. Mammologist can mean anything here, I guess.
That's true.
You can work with any animal, especially any non-mammal.
I kind of love that about it here.
Yeah,
I do
awesome.
too.
It's definitely cool.
Yeah, no, I think when you and I started working together closer, you were working with birds. So in my mind, you were always aviculturist Amanda. And when we would share things you would put, or pictures you would send to me, or videos you would send to me, I'd be like, aviculturist Amanda. And it was very nice to type because I love alliteration. But then you transitioned over into mammology and that
Mammology, Amanda.
Just leave the A off and we're good.
Perfect. I'm going to do that.
Mammal
Small
Manda.
A, Amanda.
With a little apostrophe.
Exactly.
Mammal Manda.
Perfect. Perfect. I'm going to do that now. Anyway, so you take, like we said, you take care of a variety of animals here at the aquarium, but something that I know you have a lot of love for is our puffins and our diving bird habitat. So that's why we invited you on today. But tell us a little bit about that habitat. What are diving birds? Why does the aquarium highlight this type of specific bird?
Diving birds are not penguins. I just want to put that out there right away. They're not penguins. They're not ducks. They're not seagulls. Penguins can dive, but they can't fly. And alcids, diving birds, can do both. Wow. They can swim, they can fly.
Penguins could never.
It's superior to penguins.
Sounds like it, to be honest. What makes them different from penguins? Like anatomically, what are some of the differences?
So they don't have kind of those big paddles that penguins have for their wings. They actually have more like actual wing-looking wings.
They got some feathers on
those
those
things. They're definitely a little bit smaller than the penguins. They're not quite as dense. So like penguins, they're going to be a little denser, so it helps them to dive a little deeper. The alcids, they can dive pretty deep still, though. I think it's over 100 feet that the puffins can dive.
They can hold their breath for a really long time then, huh?
It must be. That I
Or they're
actually don't
really fast.
know. I think they're actually pretty fast.
They do seem really fast, and
Yeah.
we have seen them swimming around.
They're speedy birds.
It's interesting.
Yeah, what does alcids encompass? What does that word mean, and where does it come from? And tell me everything you know.
It comes from, so alcids are part of a family called Alcidae, which is just a broad term for auk. And that is going to include puffins, guillemots, and razorbills. So some different types of birds in there.
Wait, are puffins auks?
Yes.
That's cool. I didn't know that because there is a bird that is, I'm guessing, pretty closely related that are auks, right? And auklets and greater auks. And
When you're saying ox, you're not saying ox, O-X, right?
I am actually. They are
Gosh, I'm
related.
learning so much.
They are actually related to auks.
You're just flipping my whole concept of the mammal upside down.
No, AUK auk is a type of bird, and apparently the family of birds that also includes puffins. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, the closest relative of the three puffins is the rhinoceros auk.
The rhinoceros auk. Why is it called that?
If you looked up a photo of him, I'm pretty sure.
Rhino bird.
He has kind of like a
He's got a rhino situation going on his face. Good for him, honestly.
That's so funny.
So we have alcids, and in our alcid exhibit, we have puffins, two types, right? What kinds of puffins do we have?
So we have tufted puffins and horned puffins.
How could you tell the difference if you were looking at them?
During breeding season is a
Which
little
is?
different than non-breeding season. So breeding season is during the summer, and that is when they're all kind of colorful. They're more colorful during that time. It's how they attract their mates. But the tufted puffins have, as their name suggests, little tufts. So they have kind of blonde-looking feathers that come out over their eyes in kind of an exaggerated
long eyebrows.
Yes, they look kind of like mad scientists to me.
Yes, totally. But those long tufts aren't present all the time. So they
no.
just grow out, and then what happens? Do they just fall out?
Yeah, so they'll molt them out. And same thing with like the color on their beak. They'll get like more color on their beak, and then they'll kind of shed that when it's not breeding season. So the tufted puffins, they get like bright white faces, they get those tufts, and then during the non-breeding season, they look like black birds. They don't have any of that color.
When they molt those feathers, do you find them in the water, like those longer feathers?
I think sometimes we find them on the mats. Most of the time when we're looking for things, we see like the little part of the shedding from their beak. So that's kind of cool.
Interesting.
I've seen that too, that it's like a little piece of their beak that sheds off at some frequency.
And then the horned puffins, I forgot to mention those.
yes.
The horned puffins, they get a horn over their eye, and it's actually like a fleshy projection, so part of their eyelid.
It's not a feather?
I thought so too.
The
at one
whole
point.
time I thought it was a
Isn't
feather.
that crazy?
And that's always present, or that's only present
That is
during
just the breeding season thing
Really?
too. And then they also will shed the colorful part of their beak, and they go from that like classic black and white look to and orange to also just like a darker look without the fleshy projection.
The incognito mode version of them.
Yeah.
I have so many questions. First and foremost, is the horn hard or squishy? Have you touched
I've
it?
never touched it, but I imagine it's like skin.
Is it on their eyelid? Does it move with their eye if they close it, or is it above their eye?
I think it's part of their eyelid, so it like sort of just like stays
Twitches a little
around
bit.
there.
So many questions.
I wonder if they're annoyed
And
by
the
it when
crazy
it
thing
shows up.
is, we have a puffin. Her name is Pumpkin. She actually has curly horns. Like they kind of like curl.
Gorgeous.
So those come off or recede when they are in their non-breeding plumage?
They recede.
What is the difference? Can you tell the difference between tufted puffins and horned puffins when they're in their non-breeding plumage?
Yes. So they have, well, first off, tufted puffins are much larger. So like there's a kind of size difference. I mean, I guess it's not super noticeable, but it's a couple 100 grams sometimes. And they are definitely like the much darker ones.
Okay.
So they're going to be like pretty much all black. They literally look like someone who like took off their makeup and you're like, where's your eye?
They do look really different right now. And I think during this time of year, people go up to the puffin exhibit and they're a little bit like underwhelmed by it just because they don't look like what they expect a puffin to look like. They're still very cute, but
They're very cute. I wonder, like, in the discovery of them if they found them during the summer and they're like, oh my gosh, this beautiful bird, and then bringing them home or, and under human care and being like, what did I do to you? Yeah, exactly. Oh,
right.
no.
All of their nicknames definitely come from like their colorfulness. Like they're called sea parrots or clowns of the sea. And like that comes from their like striking colors.
They're called clowns of the sea.
Yes. And then
Take that, clownfish.
and then a group of puffins is a circus.
That's so perfect.
That's breeding plumage puffins. So that means non-breeding plumage puffins are the mimes of the sea. And we looked this up, and a group of mimes is called a troop. So I think in the winter they're called a troop of puffins, and then in the summer they're called a circus.
I'm going to have to use that.
Yeah, I love that.
This is unofficial, but is now science, so don't worry about
Beginning
it.
in June, it's a circus. Every other time of year, it's just a troop.
Yeah, just a troop. Don't worry about it.
That's
no
fair.
big deal. Huh, that is very interesting. Do the pigeon guillemots also go through a color change?
They do. So their color change, I think, is kind of funny because it's my favorite of their colors is actually their non-breeding plumage. When they're like on the lighter side, they kind of have like a salt and pepper look to them, and they're mostly like white with like black speckles, whereas during their breeding time, they're mostly black with like a white belly, essentially.
Sort of inverse of what the puffins do.
Yeah, so it's interesting.
How many puffins do we have on exhibit?
Currently, we have 2 tufted puffins and 9 horned puffins. But that could change.
Oh.
We'll see.
Say more.
I don't know if there's anything else I can say about it at the moment.
Cool. That's exciting. Very cool. Well, I know we've had some of the puffins for a considerable amount of time. Can you talk about some of our longer-lived characters that live on exhibit?
Yes, our puffin exhibit has been at the aquarium since the aquarium opened in 1998. So some of these animals are that old. They've been here the whole time, which is amazing. We have Naya and Monty, our 2 tufted puffins, and they're 28 and a half years old now.
Wow.
So they are pretty old. I was looking up some facts about tufted puffins before this, and one of the facts I read was that one of the longest or oldest recorded tufted puffins that they found out in the wild was like 6 years old at least. Oh. And I was like, haha, we have some news for them.
Hey, you guys can live a lot longer.
I mean, a lot longer under human care. That's amazing. I mean, that's a testament to the amazing care that you guys are providing them. But what is their typical lifespan under human care? Is that understood yet? Or
I don't know how understood it is. We have had several tufted puffins live to be almost 30. So this is kind of amazing. And then we also have the horned puffins, and we have, I think, 4 of our 9 horned puffins are over 27 years old. So they're still going. And even one of the oldest ones, Elmer, he is always running around everywhere. He is quite enthusiastic. He does not...
Still kicking.
He still has the spirit for sure.
He's a spring puffin.
Like a chicken.
Like a spring chicken.
But a puffin.
But a puffin. Or maybe a summer puffin.
Yeah, he's a
Maybe that's
clown.
better. Yeah.
I was wondering, so if we've had puffins since the aquarium opened, something that I find really interesting about the diving seabird exhibit is that there is sort of a lot of specialized infrastructure surrounding that exhibit that helps support these very special, sensitive birds. And so if you go into the behind-the-scenes otter alcid area, one of the things you'll notice is when you open the door, you can't open the door because there is so much air pressure pushing in. And so I wonder, one, how much of the infrastructure is original to the aquarium, because that's really cool to think about. But 2, can you talk a little bit about how we manage these animals and sort of the ways that the exhibit is specialized to help take care of them? Because it is pretty interesting.
It is, yeah. These puffins are found in like the North Pacific. So they're found around Alaska, and we actually base our light system on a specific city that's in kind of their northern region in Alaska. So
cool.
The lights are constantly changing to, adjust to the daylight times that they would have out in Alaska. So as we're having shorter days now, they're having much shorter days. The lights are coming on later and going off earlier. And then in the summertime, they stay on considerably longer. They have special lights that allow them to have like the best feather health, and that helps them out. And then we do have that reverse air pressure. I don't fully understand what it does, but I do think that it has to do with keeping the temperature super cold in there. So we want that temperature to be like 55 degrees or less, because that's what is best for their health, and the water temperature is even colder than that.
Yeah, it is
So
cold.
Diving in there, I definitely wear like an 8 mil wetsuit and a 3 mil vest, and even so, I'm still pretty cold.
What's it like diving in there? Do they interact with you at all, or they just kind of stay out of your way?
They tend to just kind of stay out of the way. And they don't really do much interaction.
They're a little flighty, right? Like, do you have a lot of interaction with them?
Not too much, but actually in recent years, we worked a lot more on hand feeding them and kind of doing more training sessions. So before we were a little bit more hands off, we kind of let them be, but now we have more pointed feeding sessions and training sessions where we are having 2 people go inside the exhibit, and the tufted puffins eat on one side and the horned puffins eat on the other, and they like know which side's which. And they'll hand feed. They'll eat their fish from us, which is really nice. It can help us give them medication if we ever need to. They'll even come up on a scale, so we're able to weigh them like once a week, which is pretty exciting.
It is cool. Yeah, there's been so much like change to the way that they're managed, and like I feel like previously that exhibit was managed in a slightly more passive way where it was like, hey, we're monitoring the health of the flock overall, and I think it's been cool to see training being used in a way that is not disruptive to the flock and doesn't disrupt their social dynamics but still allows us to get a weight on them. And it's just that you just come right this way and then you step on a scale, then you get a fish. Exactly. And it's pretty cool to see that we're able to utilize training in that way. And we just talked about training in our last episode.
We did.
That's pretty cool.
It's also let us see a lot of the personalities that they have. So they're like not just like a bunch of birds. They're individual animals that like Brownie eats so calmly and like politely, and Elmer is just a wild child who will run at me, eat 10 fish, and then run away. And
Elmer the clown.
Yep.
Not whatever. Sorry, whatever is a penguin, but Pumpkin is like whatever in that he. I don't remember.
I think she, for some reason.
Pumpkin, Pumpkin, she'll run up really enthusiastic to eat from us, and then every fish we offer is just like not
enough.
the right fish.
Turn it around. Face it the other way.
So what else do you feed them? I know, or what type of fish do you feed them?
So we give them capelin, silver sides, night smelt, krill, mealworms, and then sometimes we'll change it up and offer some herring or some squid. We've even done mussels. They eat all sorts of basically small fish, essentially, out in the ocean, and then sometimes even some marine invertebrates.
I have to say that out of all of the things that our animals eat here at the aquarium, the thing that gives me the heebie-jeebies is walking up there and seeing the plate of krill with like mealworms in it. For some reason, the combination of that is the only thing that makes me just be like, okay, I'm getting used to it, I think.
I think it's because it's like icy, wet krill, which is like a fishy
see all the
thing.
little eyes,
And
yeah.
then there's just a bunch of mealworms on top
And
of
then
it.
the worms are just like kind of wriggling a little bit.
But it is their favorite thing, so you
good
have
for them.
to get
No
used to
judgment.
it.
They
That's-
do
I
love
mean,
it.
I guess I should just have to eat with them.
That's definitely the tufted
That's what you guys
puffins.
do, right?
Like,
You guys eat with them,
they're
They're
right?
called mealworms for a reason. They'll fill you up if you eat enough of them. I'm sure you could eat them.
That's an employee perk.
Yeah. Free mealworms. Actually, we pay a lot for mealworms, so don't get it twisted.
they're valuable.
They are pretty valuable.
Where are they eating Are they eating mealworms in the wild? Is that ever?
I think they'll eat more like marine worms, so different type of worm, but it's still like kind of an
protein,
invertebrate
yeah.
protein.
Good for them.
They do seem to really like it as like
They
a treat.
also could probably get some when they're in their like nesting areas. So like in the cliff sides, there's probably some land worms that they eat.
Yeah. Speaking of infrastructure and then the cliffside, if you've been to our diving seabird exhibit, you see sort of this like water feature towards the front, and then it's a very sheer vertical cliff face with a bunch of holes in it. And I think that is odd to some people, that they're like, do the birds use those? And they do use burrows, right? So they go into these little holes in the wall. Is that how they normally nest out in their natural habitat?
Yeah, so they'll nest along the cliff sides. The tufted puffins will typically kind of burrow in. And the horned puffins, they can do that, or they can kind of sit on top and like make nests. But essentially, they're doing the same thing. They're creating nests in little holes, and some birds are really good at bringing a lot of nesting materials in, and some are not so good at that. Some of them will just bring a little bit, and they're minimalists.
They're minimalists.
It's funny to watch them build their nest too.
Yeah, out in the wild, they'll take like grasses and feathers and sometimes other things that probably shouldn't be there, like plastics. But we give them their own feathers. We actually collect their feathers. If they're clean enough, then we'll save them for breeding season. And then we'll offer them fake plants to use so we can kind of put them throughout the exhibit, and they'll like pick through them and decide on which ones they want to decorate their nest with.
Do you ever open it and you're like, what have you done with the place? Like, just,
All the time.
this is a mess in here. I wonder what they would do if you rearranged it. Would they get offended by it?
That's a good question. I don't think so. I don't think they'd notice.
They're like, that's still my stuff. It's just in a slightly
fine.
different orientation.
Yeah. Speaking of their burrows, so that's where they do nest. I know we can talk about the dynamics, but have we ever had successful breeding of any of the species here at the aquarium?
We have, yeah. I think the tufted puffins and the horned puffins have had successful offspring here, and that's been really awesome. We haven't had any offspring in several years, not because they can't, but really because we kind of plan out who is going to breed, and we just haven't had that in the plans recently.
It's really cute when they are hatched because they're called a puffling.
A puffling.
And they look like a little soot sprite.
They literally look like a puffling too. They're like just like a little like
So cute. Who was the most recent baby?
The most recent, I believe, was Pickle.
Where is Pickle?
Pickle was one of the tufted puffins, and I believe Pickle moved to another AZA
I was
facility.
going to say, I was looking for Pickle on here, and then I was like, where's Pickle?
Can you go through their name, all of the puffins' names?
Yes, our tufted puffins are Naya and Monty, and our horned puffins are Elmer, Daisy, Pumpkin, Sasha, Baron, Mo. I wish I had a
Brownie.
list. Brownie.
And Hef.
And Hef. Oh my god. I can't believe I almost forgot Hef.
Hef is a funny name for a pumpkin. I mean,
You're right.
Did I say pumpkin?
No,
also
I said
pumpkins.
and he's got a lot of ladies.
Hef actually does have a couple ladies.
It makes sense.
Hef has a normal wife, and then he has the
His
side
side
girlfriend where he'll
Whoa.
kind of visit Daisy sometimes, who doesn't have a partner yet.
Sounds like she does. She's stealing Hef.
Sounds like she has one part-time partner.
And honestly, good for her.
Yeah.
She's out in the world doing whatever she wants. Can
I
have
understand.
her pick of the litter. I know that when we talked to Ashley at one point, we did an episode of The Young and the Nestless, and we talked a little bit about the relationship dynamics and the drama that happens in the exhibit. And so I think last time we spoke, and I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Daisy was trying to make a nest on a hose reel or a hose bib somewhere in the exhibit that was not an identified nest box. I remember that so specifically because I know exactly which hose bib it is, and I think it's very funny to imagine a bird building a nest on it. But I think there was a little bit of someone stepping out on someone else. I can't remember exactly who, but what's going on currently in the exhibit? Who's with who, and have they mated for life, or have they decided to break up?
Yes, Daisy is still very partial to her. Her husband.
Oh, good.
She is still figuring things out, but it is not breeding season currently, so they aren't showing us the kind of
the
drama as much.
That's good.
But my favorite couple is Naya and Monty. They're like the old couple. They're like my grandparents, you know? Like, you
They
just
are
love
cute.
to see them. And Monty just treats Naya like a queen.
Aw.
He is always there next to her, just like preening her, and he just kind of is just this proper gentleman.
Get
But
you,
recently,
Monty.
this past year, I think they were having a little bit of an argument, and we didn't see him preening her as much.
Still did it, just not as much.
Well, and he was trying to take a little bit more ownership of his krill plate. He was like, I don't want to share right now.
Rude.
He's choosing himself more.
He was.
Good for him. Sometimes
But-
you need to. But I think when we talked about it with Ashley, Monty is like really good about preening her, but she gives
Never
nothing in
preens.
return.
Exactly.
It's a
Is that
two-way
still
street,
the
Naya.
case?
Still, but things have come back to their normal.
Okay. He preens
And
her
he
again.
is still, like, we see them next to each other now. Before they were like a little bit further apart, like a foot away from each other. And now they are back in love, I think.
Love wins.
At the end of the day.
Yay.
Well, they are 28 and a half years old. So maybe they just couldn't see each other very well. It could just be that they didn't know exactly where the others were.
I'm trying to preen you. I can't find you.
I think most of our drama in the exhibit is actually stemming from the non-puffin animals, and it sounds like we have some pigeon guillemots that are having their own social issues in and of themselves. But this is a puffin episode.
I want to hear a little bit about it.
Okay.
Okay, well, we have a lot of pigeon guillemots. We have 11 pigeon guillemots. 9
their
of
names?
them are female.
Name them all right now.
I want to hear. I just love their names. You guys are so good at naming.
We have Sophia, Lily, Rowdy, Tarzan, Larkspur, Cruz, Ethan, Pepper, Buddy, Chippy, and Dylan.
Well, you name these birds Rowdy and Tarzan, so
And then you expect them to behave
That
themselves?
seems...
I know.
Yeah, mhm.
That bird's my favorite.
Rowdy does
And Pepper,
sometimes
too. It's a
pick on
spicy
another bird, and that's not nice.
Come on, Rowdy.
Yeah.
She's just
Pigeon guillemots are a rowdy bunch, and Rowdy is the rowdiest of the bunch.
maybe, perhaps.
Could be.
I do love them, though. They're so fun still.
Do they ever bother the puffins, or is it like very separate drama?
I don't think that the puffins are bothered by them, really.
That's so
Sometimes I
interesting.
do see them around the puffins' nest boxes, and they'll kind of like yell into a nest box. And I'm not entirely sure
The
what that's
rudest neighbors.
about. And
could see
their
that.
yell is like a squeaky wheel spinning really fast.
It does sound like that. You're right. It's like a very high-pitched, continuous noise.
I can't do it.
It's too weird of a sound.
It really, it's so high pitched. I don't think my voice does that.
Doesn't get
I
up
don't
there.
think the human voice does. Maybe Ariana Grande does that, but not.
That's who
Maybe
we need.
Mariah Carey
we
can
need
do
them
it.
to do the soundscape.
Get Mariah.
Beyonce in here.
I'm gonna have Mariah Carey come do an alcid impression.
I think we could get the budget. I think we could.
Probably so.
It's important for science.
Exactly.
Education.
It is very important.
STEM.
So funny. So the pigeon guillemots they're much smaller than the puffins, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so they're not really trying to do much, right?
No, they coexist pretty well. Like, we'll see them kind of resting next to each other, but they're not, like, interacting as much.
How funny. What an interesting bunch. Okay, cool. So we talked a little bit about their anatomy. We talked a little bit about their social structure. What about the general care of the alcids? How do you get them to participate in any of their general health care that we do here at the aquarium?
So we
Participate
do.
in their care.
Oh, yeah. So we actually hand feed them, and we've trained them to go onto a scale. And that is something that helps us to tell if they're getting enough food or if they seem to be losing weight or gaining weight too rapidly. That is usually an indication that maybe something deeper is going on. With that, because they hand feed, if we do need to deliver any medication, we can put it in the fish that they eat and then trust most of the time that they'll eat it.
Get it down.
Sometimes, mostly our pigeon guillemots, they'll like run into the water with their fish, and then all the other birds are like, oh, you have a fish hanging out of your mouth. Let me try to grab it. But our puffins are much better about actually eating their fish right when it's handed to them, so that's a lot easier.
Very cool. Do they eat their fish whole, or are they doing it?
They swallow it whole, and similar to penguins, they have those kind of like spikes in their mouth that help them to hold it so that it can go in their mouth and not accidentally swim out, especially when they're in the wild chasing after live squiggly fish, and that allows them to hold a bunch of fish in their beak.
Yeah, it's cool. I've seen so many pictures of just puffins with lines of fish just coming out of their beak, and I always wonder: are they going to eat them? Are they bringing them to their family? Like, how many fish can they
Sometimes
hold?
both, yeah.
Could be
Sometimes
anything.
both. They'll eat. Sometimes they'll even eat underwater, which I think is wild to think about.
That is weird. Could I do that?
No.
I don't think
Don't
so.
try.
I think if I put food in my mouth and then went underwater, I could swallow it, and that's probably the extent.
That's about it.
I'm worried.
I am worried. Right? Let's go find out.
They can stack a crazy number of fish in their beaks, and obviously it depends on how big the fish are. But I read somewhere that they like recorded a puffin somewhere in the wild with like over 60 fish in its beak.
What?
Jeez.
How do they catch 60
I don't
fish
even
to
keep
hold?
All 59, like
Well,
all
the
59
spikes definitely help to keep
Yeah,
them
I
in.
guess
So
so.
that's
Yeah,
one thing, but
jeez.
it's a lot.
Fascinating.
Probably really small fish.
But
like
still
the
so
silver
many.
side type fish, but it's a lot.
And then they hold them, like every picture you see, they're holding them sideways and they're like draped out of their beak. So I'm just picturing like 60 stacked super high. And it's like when someone tries to eat a really big hamburger and they have to open their mouth so wide.
Well, if you look at them, they have like a kind of like a weird, like fleshy corner of their mouth, like where their like bottom and top beak meet. And that allows their mouth to like open at various
Like a
angles so they can like actually hold all of them. It's not
Interesting.
just like one hinge. It's like
It's
a
like
little bit more variable there.
It's like a rubber band. Just keeps. That is interesting.
But I've tried handing our birds fish sideways to see if they would kind of like stack the fish, and I've not had any success. They're like, that's not how I eat.
Hey.
I only eat it with the head facing towards me.
It's very
and
specialized.
it has to sometimes be facing left or sometimes be facing right. Depends on my mood.
And I'm not going to tell you, but that's up to you.
Exactly.
That's your business to figure out.
And that's how Pumpkin is. She'll look at me and she'll be like, I really want food. I'm so excited. She'll run out to me, wings out at her side, and then, no.
You're holding it wrong.
Not that one.
It's at a 37-degree angle, and I was hoping for 33. So
I'm like, these are the same
Amanda.
fish you get every day. I don't know what you want.
they're very different.
No.
I feel like our penguins are just like that. Thankfully, our seals and sea lions, not at all like that. And you throw a fish at them, and it's gone.
Down the hatch.
I've seen Parker spit out a fish before.
Okay, he's a special guy. Okay, leave him alone.
He's allowed to be picky. He's earned that right.
Exactly.
He's the biggest, sweetest one.
So speaking of their care, I know that every year we do an annual drain down. Can you talk about what that day looks like and how it goes?
Within our group, we call it the Alcid Rodeo. Yeehaw! And so that is a day where we make sure we do the annual physicals on all of our birds, but we also do any maintenance that needs to be done in the exhibit. And so what we do is we get to the aquarium bright and early, and we have divers get in with nets, and we have people topside, and we essentially net all of the birds out of the water, and we put them in their own respective kennels, and then we drain the whole exhibit, get all of the water out of it. And so at that point, we start doing their annual physicals with our vet staff. And so we take one bird out at a time, sometimes two, depending on how many staff we have. And we're looking at everything on the birds. We're looking at how their wings look, how their eyes, nares, mouth, feet all look, and we're making sure that they seem nice and healthy. And if any birds need additional care, we might even do radiographs or anything on them that they need. And then all the while that's happening, we have our facilities and maintenance team inside the exhibit, and they're doing like the deepest clean you can imagine, and they're changing out all the light bulbs to make sure that the light cycle stays going how it should, and adding any things that we want added or changing anything up that we need. It's kind of a very exciting day.
That's so cool. What do you time it a certain time of year? Like, is it probably doesn't happen during their breeding season because you wouldn't want to disrupt their nesting, but what time of year do you time it?
We usually do it like late winter, early spring. So we try to get right after they have finished that molt back into their non-breeding into their breeding plumage. So their feathers have just grown in. We kind of aren't going to ruin any feathers that are coming in that way. So we're trying to be mindful of that. And then we do want to catch it before breeding season because we don't want to disrupt that process, even whether or not they have eggs that year.
So make sure everybody's in tip-top shape. And what are you looking for in their annual exams? What are some common things that are found in these species that might be more of a concern or something you have to keep an eye on?
Well, especially because our birds are so much older, we are definitely kind of keeping an eye on how their cataracts and eyes and things are progressing. We're also looking at their feet for any calluses or wounds. Bird feet are subject to things like bumblefoot. They are pretty fragile. And so we're just checking to make sure they don't have any lesions that could pose problems for them and their health. And then also just like wing mobility, whether or not we have a couple of birds that their beaks kind of overgrow sometimes. So we have to trim those down a little. And then we do take blood samples on some of them too to see if there's anything that we can't see.
It's a lot on Alcid Rodeo Day.
It is a
I've been
big
around
day.
for an Alcid Rodeo Day, and it's a lot of work. And you're talking about, what, 30 birds? How many birds are in exhibit?
Ooh, good question. 2 + 9 + 11. Do that math. 22.
Talking about 22 birds on exhibit. That's 22 birds that you're rounding up and also cranking through the annual exams too. It's a lot. It's a lot happening.
It's a big day, and there's so much maintenance. There's so many people in and out of that area, and because the alcids are such a specialized and sort of sensitive group, we also do all of their exams just behind the scenes at their exhibit rather than primarily in the MAC, which is where we do most of our animal exams. So it is really interesting to see like a procedure table set up and then these birds in their kennels and things. And we're also holding them up there to keep them cooler since they can overheat pretty easily. So it is a huge day. And I think it's usually like a 14-hour, 16-hour
day.
Most of the day comes from waiting for the exhibit to get refilled. And then
Does it take a long time for the water to fill up?
It takes a while, and then we have to do it a couple of times to make sure any of the cleaning solutions that we used in there
Gets rinsed
get
out.
Water quality
completely
comes in
flushed
and
out.
checks it. Too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's a lot.
Fascinating. Very
Alcid
cool.
rodeo.
Alcid rodeo. Yeehaw.
Yeehaw, it's a puffin rodeo.
Our aviculturist, Ashley, created a sticker last time, and she put a little cowboy hat on a puffin.
It is cute.
So cute.
We need that in the gift shop immediately.
Sell it immediately.
Okay, cool. Well, what about their conservation status? How are they doing in the wild?
They are doing well. They're not of concern, but there are some areas that they do show like decline, and that typically happens because of climate change, pollution, and introduced predators. So where foxes and rats have been introduced, they'll go after the puffins when they're on their breeding grounds. Plastics and stuff in the ocean, sometimes puffins will use that in their nests. Sometimes they'll use that as food, and that can create kind of a sense of feeling full even though it's not nutrition. And so that can cause a lot of problems for these birds.
I can imagine. Yeah, that causes
And
a lot
then-
of GI problems. Yeah.
And then as the waters are warming, their fish sources are going elsewhere. So they're having maybe some problems finding food sometimes too.
So it's one of those animals where by just making better choices in your life, by reducing your single-use plastics and just being a little more mindful, you are directly helping, among with many others.
Exactly. Well said.
Stop releasing rats everywhere. Would you just
Okay,
knock
I'll stop.
it's specifically
Sorry.
you. Yeah, I think it's one of those interesting things that like this animal that lives in otherwise kind of a difficult nesting area that probably not a lot of predators would be able to get to could then be so impacted by an like introduced predator like a rat that can easily climb a cliff, easily get into a nest, will eat all your eggs immediately. And so like that probably has ruined a lot of species that otherwise nested and evolved to nest in these uninhabitable places, or so they thought, so that they could have this protected area. So it's a little devastating what we've done to our world. We're not going to think about it too much because we're going to move on to questions.
Because everyone who
from
listens to this,
social media.
everyone who listens to our podcast is very mindful of how they treat the planet. But so because they're diving birds, are they interacting with any like larger marine species that predate on them, like sea lions, seals, sharks?
I don't think seals or sea lions would go after a puffin.
They're quick.
I think so.
They would coexist in areas that have seals, and then if they're up in Alaska, also sea lions of different sorts. But I don't think seals or sea lions are particularly bird focused. Ours are scared of birds. So I don't think that would be a huge risk. If they lived in the southern hemisphere where leopard seals are, I almost wonder if that interaction would ever happen because those guys specialize on eating penguins. So
Probably would then.
yeah, they'd be like, "That's just a small penguin. I'll give it
Or
a
maybe
shot."
they'd be like, "This is too small. This is
That's
not,
also
this
true.
is not worth it."
Well,
But
that's the
trouble.
difference between a penguin and a
Yeah,
puffin.
leopard seals. Don't eat puffins.
Puffins are only in the northern hemisphere.
We should be asking the leopard seal.
That's my new favorite punchline to that joke is what's the difference between a penguin and a puffin? Leopard seals don't eat puffins.
Hey, I mean,
Honestly,
leopard seal
not
don't
wrong.
Yeah, it's true. They could, but they won't.
Amazing.
Cool.
Okay, we got some questions from social media that we want to go over, and we kind of touched on these a little bit already. But if they mate for life, and it's kind of they're monogamish, right? Like it's
monogamish. That's
monogamish.
perfect.
Seems similar to penguins. And you did did you do the sound? No, you didn't do it.
Oh,
Someone wanted to know what sound do they make, and if you could do an impression, it would be lovely to hear it.
so they make kind of a like low, throaty sound. Here's my best impression.
Excellent.
It does sound like that. Also.
It sounds like me eating a bowl of cereal.
But like way deeper.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you don't hear what I am, how my voice sounds at home. So
Okay, sorry.
I can only do it so much here. And why do their voices sound like that? You would think for a bird it would be a little more squawky. Do you think that caters to any sense of who they are or how they? I don't know.
That's
Wow.
a good question.
Yeah, why do they sound like that?
puffin existentialism?
I know. You should ask.
Why do you sound like that?
you sound like that? Someone wanted to know why Mo is the best.
Why is Mo the best? I don't know. I think I would disagree. I feel like Baron is one of my favorites. If you look in our exhibit, Baron has the fanciest pants of all
I have
of
seen
our
it.
puffins.
I can confirm.
It's a baron.
His
Obviously.
his feathers on his legs are just like shaped and I don't
curly
know,
a
like
little
they're
bit.
curled in such a way that like they actually look like he's wearing like
Yeah.
What are those old-timey pants
Like pantaloons?
called? Yeah, pantaloons.
It looks like he's used pomade on it. You know, like he's like
Yeah.
shaped the feathers in such a way. I can tell Baron apart from everyone. I don't know anything about the Puffins other than Baron has very fancy bloomers on, and one of the pigeon guillemots, Pepper, has an orange beak.
Yes.
Those are the two identifiers for me in the exhibit.
Well, it seems
But
like
I feel
our
like
listeners will
everyone-
be able to spot them now too.
Now you know.
Oh, yeah. I feel like everyone who takes care of these birds have like a different favorite for a different reason. They all
So
have
why
such funny...
might Mo be the best
Why
to this person?
might Mo be
This
the
random
best?
person who asked. Mm-hmm.
I think her husband Elmer is the best because he will scarf down so many fish all at once so fast.
Such a good eater.
And he will run over. And Mo, I think she is just a little bit more polite than Elmer. So maybe that's why
Comparatively
she's
the best.
Person sees
Comparatively,
himself in
she's
her,
just a little
maybe.
bit more polite.
All right.
I love that. What about puffins help them survive in their unique environment? What are some adaptations they've had to be able to live in those cliffsides?
So they live in cold areas that have a lot of cliffs, probably not a lot of like shoreline, mostly just kind of like a sheer cliff face. And I'm guessing kind of like murky, spooky water, because that's what I picture at least in my head. Because
Are they good climbers? Like, are they climbing up there? Or is it mostly flying?
It's flying, I believe.
I see them waddling up the cliff all the time, but I don't know if that's just because our guys just,
Are old.
yeah. I know that their feathers are very good insulation for them, and so that probably helps them in the colder environments and things like that. Do they live in snow ever? They must, right?
Up in Alaska, there has to be snow
Yeah,
around,
just- I
but
can't picture
during the cold time of year, they're going to be at the water more often. So they aren't at land when it's not breeding season.
it. Do
They
they
spend
have
most
like
of their
a
time at the water.
like a fully pelagic phase of their life, or do they still come inland for resting?
They're mostly pelagic at that time,
interesting.
so they're not going to be on land. They do have
In the
pretty
snow.
short wings, and so I think that short wingspan helps them with swimming and diving underwater, so they're able to actually get some power behind their strokes when they're swimming underwater, but they're still able to fly with those wings.
They got that pretty stark counter shading, which is that
Oh, yeah.
like white on the underside, black on the backside.
And they have the spikes inside their beak that allow them to hold on to fish, so
60 of them.
Yeah, they can climb up
their
if
their
they need
foraging dives are pretty efficient that way.
They're an interesting bird.
to. Yeah, they are very interesting. They're very different than a lot of the other birds that we have here.
They just look like a puffin, you know?
Just look like a
We heard a little bit about the relationship drama. Is there any other relationship drama happening right now?
I don't really think so.
pretty
They're
tame
pretty. They're pretty set in
They're
their
chill.
relationships. They're pretty tame.
We'll keep the reality show for the penguins, I guess.
They're definitely not as volatile as the
It's
penguins.
messy.
Penguins are messy. And we can always do an update of Young and the Nestless and have you on
We should.
later this year or next year.
I think this is a really great question. Their evolutionary lineage. What did they evolve from? What is their lineage?
You know this. It was ox.
Oh, yeah, I guess we did kind of talk about that.
The
Yeah.
ox lineage. I guess it would be the ox then. Yeah. The rhinoceros ox is their closest relative, but I don't know like who came first
The ox
or like what
the
came
puffin.
first. I know that there used to be a bird a long time ago called a great auk, and it was like much bigger, like a penguin-sized bird in the northern hemisphere.
Puffin bird.
And so, but that bird went extinct.
I thought,
Unfortunately.
aren't penguins descended from ox, and then at what point did they split off? Like, because puffins, I'm guessing, aren't that closely related to penguins.
The puffins evolved from the rhinoceros auk. Oh, auklet. I said auk earlier. I meant rhinoceros auklet.
Interesting. Because rhinoceros auklets still exist, though, right?
Yes. And then there are 3 types of puffins. So there's the horned puffin, the tufted puffin, and the Atlantic puffin. But the Atlantic is the only one that lives in the Atlantic Ocean.
No way.
That's where my island is.
In the Atlantic, that's where.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, we need to get. I mean, we're the aquarium of the Pacific. Specifically the Pacific. So I don't know if it's ever going to be in our plans to have any Atlantic penguins from Lundy Island.
There's
The Atlantic
Said pumpkin.
puffins get so much of the like puffin merch.
Yeah.
Like they are the
Oh,
ones
is
that
the
are the
traditional
most. Yeah.
puffin?
You like see them on everything. They're the most represented for sure.
You don't ever see the ones with the tufts as
And
They're beautiful. They're very beautiful.
if you have good hair.
I mean, they only have it for part of the time, so maybe that's,
No one's looking.
they should have it for longer.
Yeah. Maybe grow your hair out and braid it.
Yeah, exactly.
Then I'll take a picture of you.
Then we'll make you into a stuffed animal.
Because there are, I think, 2 puffin species in the Pacific Ocean and only 1 in the Atlantic, it's suggested that they probably started off in the Pacific Ocean and then, like, kind of
made their way over.
The Atlantic kind of branched off from there.
Are they much larger? Or are they pretty similar in size?
They're pretty similar. The tufteds are the largest.
Very cool.
And I just found out that their scientific name, fratercula, means little brother, which is very cute. So they're all your little brothers. Also means friar, because apparently they look like a monk in
friars.
robes.
Oh, so
But
sweet.
little brother's pretty cute.
I love that.
Little bro.
Okay, the last question we have for you is from our social media is, are they evil?
Absolutely not.
I don't know what this person has against puffins, but
No, honestly, they come up to hand feed and they have this look on their face like, can I please have some?
Please, sir.
They really seem like they're always saying please and thank you with
Yeah.
their face.
They do look polite. I like that they come out with their head slightly bowed too, and they'll like tilt their head to the side, like please, just
They'll
one.
like kind of, the tilt head. And then they also like are walking kind of pigeon-toed, like they walk on their own feet a little bit. And so it's just like
so
the slowest, like they'll be a foot away from me, but they'll take like 60 steps to get there.
I do like when they step on their own feet and just like pat each other.
I would
than
too.
that.
Part
if
of the
I had-
clown thing,
Yeah, exactly.
probably.
They have clown shoes and clown face.
Yeah.
The clowns
They're
of the sea.
clowns.
Little
Oh,
circus.
so they're the opposite of evil. They're angelic.
Yeah, they're perfect.
Oh, I love
I love
that.
them.
I love that. So, yeah, that's amazing. Okay, Amanda, thank you so much for teaching us about puffins today. That was amazing. I guess, do you have any, before we wrap up, do you have any stories that stick out to you about working with the puffins that are some of your favorites?
I'm so bad at telling stories.
Tell us about Elmer and how he's everyone's favorite.
Elmer, I think before we started this more like hands-on approach to training our puffins and guillemots, like Elmer was the bird that was like the most social towards people. Like he always kind of hand-fed. And so I think that's why he's so fun. He'll like run up to you and just be really excited to eat a lot of things. Right now we're working on training him to kind of step onto like a platform that we hold.
Oh.
And sometimes he does that with so much enthusiasm. He kind of topples off a little bit. So we're working on just being calm and coming onto it. And that is something as he is getting a little bit older and a little arthritis-y, we're able to kind of use that to help him move between the different levels of the cliff face. And so we call
An
it his,
elevator.
his Elmer-vator.
Oh, it's cute.
So
That's
it's
perfect.
definitely a lot of fun.
That's adorable.
Elmer
Amazing.
figured it out years ago. He's been hand feeding the whole time.
He's brilliant
He knows.
and not evil.
Yeah. And then he's probably like, why did everyone take so long to get shots of this? This is great.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. I learned so much. That was a wonderful, wonderful episode.
Yay, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Everyone should leave a comment on this episode and say what your favorite puffin name is.
Yeah. Or pigeon guillemot name.
Or Pigeon Guillemot name.
We accept
All
either.
the names.
Rowdy.
I think Rowdy's a good. Tarzan is a funny name for him.
That's good.
Chippy's my favorite. I had a dog named Chip when I was growing up. I'm partial to
I
that
had a
name.
bird named Chippy, and so I always think of Chippy, and I'm like,
That's
oh,
too
it's my
funny.
lovebird. So
Chippy. I love it. Cool. Thanks, Amanda.
Yeah, thank you.
Aquarium of the Pacific is brought to you by Aquarium of the Pacific, a 501c3 nonprofit organization.
Keep up with the aquarium on social media at Aquarium Pacific on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn.
This podcast is produced by Erin Lundy and Madeline Walden. Our music is by Andrew Reitzma, and our podcast art is by Brandy Kenny. Special thanks to Cecile Fisher, Anitza Valles, our audiovisual and education departments, and our amazing podcast guests for taking time out of their day to talk about the important work that they do.
Podcific isn't possible without the support of the aquarium's donors, members, guests, and supporters. Thanks so much for listening.